Hi, I'm Avery Davidson.
And I'm Kristen Oaks-White. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Well, this year's crawfish season is winding down, and most crawfish farmers are happy to report this year was a drastic improvement over 2024, which was heavily affected by drought.
Now they're setting their sights on next year's crop, which means seeding their ponds. TWILA's Karl Wiggers brought his rubber boots to Evangeline Parish to see how crawfish farming has something in common with growing row crops.
Crawfish traps are piling up around farms in South Louisiana as the season draws near the end. Jonathan Fontenot farms with his family in Evangeline Parish. He's pleased with the season they've had here at K&K Ag Partnership.
You know, you had your ups and downs across the farm. You'll never hit a home run every time, but overall satisfied.
However, crawfish is only half of the picture. Like many others in this part of the state, Fontenot and his family also grow rice.
So everything we farm is on a 2-year rotation. It's on a rice, crawfish, 2-year rotation. What we have planted in rice this year will be crawfish acres next year. What's in crawfish acres this year will be rice next year. They go hand in hand.
At the tail end of crawfish season, Fontenot's crew starts seeding next year's crop.
So it's essentially the same practice, same concept as you plant a crop of rice, and you grow it out, and you harvest it. So we have our rice planted now. It's been growing well. It's entering into reproductive stage now. It's coming towards the end of the growing season for rice. At this point in the year, it's time to start getting the crawfish crop for next year going. In a sense, we're not so much planting our next crawfish crop. I mean, it's grown, it's there. We're relocating it into the grounds that we're going to crawfish next year.
This process is an all-day affair that begins early with these boats in the ponds. While it may look the same as the rest of the season, these bags are full of seed stock to move into the rice fields.
Our guys start fishing at about 6 in the morning. All of our crawfish will get back to the headquarters and it'll get sorted through. We kind of split them 3 ways between big crawfish, which will hit the road, small crawfish, which will be seed stock for today, and the mediocre crawfish will go through a grading process where we split the big ones from the little ones. Big ones from that cleanup will hit the road, the small ones will be seed stock. Our guys will kind of all gather up in a couple trucks and load up the stock for the day. It could be anywhere from 80 to 130 sacks every day, you know. We have designated fields that we stock in each day and kind of set them up and they go out and throw them in the rice fields. It's essentially an investment into next year's crop. You have to invest into next year's crop in order to get a good crop next year.
That investment has to sit a little while as the rice crop finishes up. In a few weeks, Fontenot will slowly drain the rice fields down to prepare for harvest.
In that time, the crawfish will go and burrow typically in the exterior perimeters of the field, levees and roads. They burrow down into the soil, lay eggs, incubate eggs in a sense, just kind of lay dormant there from the months of July until October. In October, we'll flood the fields back up and these crawfish will emerge from their burrows. From that point on, the new crop will start growing. It takes 3 to 4 months for them to be mature and start catching mature crawfish again, which leads you right into that February, March area where crawfish catch gets pretty sweet.
Reporting in Mamou, I'm Karl Wiggers for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Fontenot will finish up seeding next year's crop this week. Most farmers are pulling traps from the fields, and the end of the season is quickly approaching.